go to check in on the markets now with our business editor, Ticky Fullerton. Ticky, an S&P downgrade. How did the markets take that?
Well, we had a roller coaster of a day, but I don't think it was much to do with the downgrade. I mean, S&P downgraded Australia's credit outlook from AAA to the negative side. Now, you'd think that's because, obviously, of the debt we're taking on and the impact on the budget. You'd think that might have an impact in terms of sovereign risk. The market wasn't swayed by that at all. I think the A dollar didn't move very much, it's 61 against the US. But what has happened, we've had a bit of a roller coaster of a day once again. Kieran, you down at the beginning and then roaring up quite confidently and then finishing down 0.86%. Look, a couple of things within that. TWE, the wine guys, they had a roller coaster of a day because they were thinking about a spin-off of Penfolds. They went up 9%, ended up 1.4% up. But the other really interesting thing was the big property companies, you know, the landlords. I think as a result of the government announcing this stuff about rents, there was a big shock at the beginning of the day, again down. But if you look at how they ended up, Centre was 8.2% up, Vicinity over 9% up. And I think now there's some clarity around these rental agreements and just how much pain there is. I think that was a positive. What did bring things down, though, were the banks, who were also put on credit negative.
And Ticky, in relation to the banks, we've been talking in the last few days about dividends. APRA has sent a new directive now.
Yeah, well, exactly. We've been chatting about this coming through from the Bank of England in Britain all the way down to New Zealand with the RBNZ. Well, yesterday, Wayne Byers at APRA, I think his words to the bank were that he'd advise a prudent reduction in dividends. Well, Kieran, that has led to Bank of Queensland in its half-yearly results today saying, no, they were going to defer dividends. Now, what do we mean by deferring dividends? I guess that's a work in progress, isn't it? Westpac said that actually it was going to, review its situation. They've got dividend decisions coming up, as have ANZ, as have Macquarie Bank. CBA have already paid out some dividends. But I think we're going to see now the pressure on boards, if anything, to actually defer these dividends. At what stage they will be paid will depend on how we go with countering the virus. But it's a very interesting time. And in a way, if you are a bank chief, the decision has kind of been deferred away from the boards to the regulators, who are almost instructing banks to say, don't pay any dividends now. So that responsibility, I think, has been shifted a bit, but shareholders taking some of the risk now.
Yeah, indeed. It certainly seems, and there's enough risk to go around. Ticky, thank you so much for that.